Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Real Talk Bougie. Guys, okay, I'm going to have to kind of explain what's going on here a little bit. So, right here we have Kelly Marie Bryant. Kelly Marie Bryant is the mummy who has felony charges for some disgraceful behavior, three very serious felonies in the state of Michigan. She's known as the Pontiac mom. If you Google Pontiac mom, she will come up in a absolutely filthy townhouse where she left three kids to fend for themselves for quite a long period of time, roughly somewhere from 3 to 5 years. These were little kids, like 8, 10, and 12, maybe at the time, young, maybe 8, 9, and 10, something just bizarre. Okay. These kids were left to fend for themselves. And Valentine's Day last year, she fell behind on the rent, and the landlord was doing a welfare check to find out what was going on. Number one, because that's his property. Number two, he wasn't able to get in contact with Kelly, so he did a welfare check, and lo and behold, there's three children living there unattended for, covered in human excrement, filthy conditions, scared out of their mind. It's just awful. And so, of course, the police were contacted. Anyway, fast forward, now it is way past February. We're in February of the following year. And she was actually getting ready to start her trial, I think, in a week. And we hear a little bit about this. She went to court about a month or so ago. She actually got charged with welfare fraud because she was getting benefits for these children. She was getting benefits and welfare benefits. And she obviously was frauding the government because she's receiving benefits, and she was nowhere to be found in the residence with these children. And they charged her with welfare fraud because the benefits were supposed to be for the care, upkeep, and nutrition of the children. The children were not being well taken care of. They were not well fed. There were some deficiencies there, and she was not living in the home, and she was not caring for the children. So, fast forward, she has pled guilty to those cases. So we saw this a couple of weeks ago, but I wanted to show this again because she went to court yesterday, and it was absolutely bananas. Um, and she basically was supposed to she was supposed to start trial in a couple of weeks. Her attorney is now saying that she is not competent, that they want another competency. She's concerned about her competency, and she's already pled no contest to the welfare case several months ago, back in October. And she's supposed to be sentenced next week, I think on the 2nd. And then she's supposed to start her trial on March 12th, as of now, at this moment in this video. But she went to court this week, and her lawyer says she's questioning her competency and wants a delay. And the judge is not going to be happy. Let's listen to this really quick. And just to get caught up, I do have a Kelly Marie Bryant playlist, so definitely get into it if you want to get caught up on this. But I don't want to say she's been problematic, but when she got arrested, she probably spent about 6 months in jail initially. She had some challenges with following the judge's directions initially when this was still um, in the lower court. The judge ordered her to not have any contact with the victims, but she was contacting the victims, and they'd take her phone privileges away. Anyway, fast forward, she was in jail for roughly about 6 months. She ended up getting out on bond, and, back and forth to court. She did go ahead and plead no contest for the welfare fraud. But it's time to have her trial for the child abuse, and they basically flat out accuse them of trying to take the court's time. So let's listen to this. This is the one this is for 4 weeks ago. So let's hear what the plan is coming up, and then we'll hear what happened this week.
Calling case number 2025-293-649-FC, the People versus Kelli Bryant.
Thank you. And you want to would you call them both, please, sir?
Yes.
I've got one
Also calling case number 2025-293-653-FH, the People versus Kelli Bryant.
Thank you, sir. For the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Peter Barron's on behalf of the people.
Thank you, ma'am. For the defendant, please.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Susie Hernandez on behalf of Ms. Bryant. She's with me in court.
Thank you, ma'am. Could you please state your name for the record?
Kelli Bryant.
Thank you, ma'am. I have this matter. It was originally scheduled for two things today. It was scheduled for sentencing on the case ending in 653, the welfare fraud charges, and then it was scheduled for a final pretrial on the child abuse cases, the files ending in 649. With regard to sentencing, I'm advised that a pre-sentence investigation referral was not made. Has it been made now?
Yes.
Okay.
I promise.
All right. So have we talked to the department about timing?
We're all set.
You have a sentencing date.
March 12th.
Thank you very much. And that works for everybody?
Yes, Your Honor. We picked it all together.
Thank you. All right. So I'm going to expect that I'll have an opportunity to review the PSI. So will you. I'll take additions, corrections, deletions first, and then I'll hear from everybody in terms of the welfare fraud case.
So do you hear her saying that PSI, the pre-sentencing investigation, was not ordered? Pre-sentencing investigation is typically like an interview from probation, where they kind of go through your past, go through your criminal history, go through your work history, maybe what your potential is for rehabilitation. They go through several different factors and kind of weigh that against the sentencing formula and maybe make a recommendation as to what they think that the sentence could look like, and also the prospects for the individual once they get out, and what just basically doing a full kind of analysis and workup on that individual based against the crimes. What have they done based on their past history? What the outlook is in terms of employment and things like that, rehabilitation, just giving the judge a full scope to look at before they sentence the individual.
With regard to 3 counts of child abuse in the first degree, we have a trial date of March 2nd.
Yes,
Is there any reason why that is not a good date? It's a good date from the court's perspective.
No.
Okay.
So I did email the court separately and just to explain why we didn't have an answer as to deviation request
Yes.
yet. So
It was just made, correct?
It was just made.
Okay.
And they need some more time, so that's not on them, but I do think I put together a pretty comprehensive, request for the prosecutor's office, which Ms. Ferenczi has promised that they'll consider. So what I would like to do, and, we had some further discussions too, because I know there were some statements made before about, what was possible and what might not be possible. But
Right.
We're looking at everything.
Okay.
We're looking at everything. So I would like to, if we could have another final pretrial, but keep the trial date. If we can't resolve it, then we'll be ready to go to trial. So
All right.
I'm not asking the court to adjourn anything.
All right. So, and I'm seeing you by your nod.
But I'm going to tell you this. They did end up coming to the final pretrial, which you heard her just ask for, right? They had the final pretrial this week. And what did she do? She came to ask for an adjournment. and said that Kelli needs to have a competency evaluation. She doesn't feel that Kelli is going to be able to assist in her defense.
Be ready for trial as well, that you don't anticipate issues that would delay that?
No,
That's
not
that's
at
a
all.
good date from the court's
It is,
perspective,
Your Honor.
and we're counting on it. There are
Yes,
going to be
Your Honor.
young victims, I'm assuming, called to testify,
That's
so
right.
I want to be really cognizant of getting their testimony timely.
No, and we're very familiar with the case and the facts and what testimony would be, because there's enough, I guess like a companion case, if you will. So there will be no request for adjournments unless,
Okay,
I don't know, something strange happens.
okay, but nothing anticipated. All right, and you have put together a packet or information, you're asking for a deviation
Yes.
in terms of the charge or the kilobrew,
Oh,
or
Your
what
Honor,
are we doing?
So either or.
Okay,
So there's a request. I don't think it's an unreasonable request.
Okay.
But, if the prosecutor's office cannot entertain a charge reduction, then I did, make an alternative request for a sentencing agreement.
all right. How long realistically do you think your office needs to meaningfully consider that and give a set response?
Yes, Your Honor. We received it yesterday, so I would ask for, if we could get a pretrial date, I don't know if it works for the court schedule or if it's on the schedule, perhaps at least like the last week of February or the week prior, I think we'd be able to have an answer to them.
It would be the last week.
Yeah, let's add it to the last week in February. Let's add it to just the Thursday call. Do you see any reason?
Yes.
Oh, you sure did. Yes, we sure did. All right. Yes. All right. Let's pick a date and time that works for everybody who needs access to the proceeding.
Wednesday, February 25th at 1:15.
May I just double check?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm available.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Karen Dongo, when
Okay, everybody is available and they go ahead and book it, right? Okay.
you get your eyes on your calendar. Is that, I hate to miss, that's such important work. And the child death review is one time a month. I left. I'd appreciate that. I want to make everybody's life, you said, is that
Wednesday, February 25th at 1:30.
Okay, so that was this week. And sentencing and trial. So the trial was supposed to start on the 2nd, and I guess sentencing on the 12th, but they have postponed everything back to May now. Let's take a look at this. And the judge is so pissed. Let's take now, for some reason, this one doesn't seem to like it's starting at the very beginning. So let's just get into it. Miss Kirandongo is over talking and the judge is pissed at this point. This is what happened not yesterday, but the day before, the 25th. So Wednesday.
I do not believe at this time as an officer of the court that my client is able to properly assist me in preparation of her defense, which includes also considering, the options. And so I'm asking the court to refer her based on that, and that's an appropriate, referral.
Ms. Ferenczi, do you want to be heard on the request?
Sure, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am.
Judge, I respect Ms. Kirandongo's professionalism. My request, though, is something more substantial for an offer of proof as to what brought this competency issue at play. I do have concerns on Ms. Bryant's end that this possibly is a delay tactic.
And
All right,
And Your
well,
Honor-
let me, hang on, she gets to be heard and then I get to be heard. Is there anything else you want me to consider?
The psychological evaluation that Ms. Kirandongo was referencing was done in October of 2025. So I'm not sure what has changed. Obviously, I understand the court rules that this can be raised at any point,
Yes.
but we have 2 proceedings ongoing and have been ongoing since February of 2025. What has changed?
All right, so I understand the request, and I do not have a problem ever with a request for a competency evaluation. My problem is with the timing.
But
And here's why, right? These folks she was first in court February 20th of 2025, so a year and 5 days ago. Since that time, She has made numerous appearances in district court. A preliminary examination was held that she was present at. She's made numerous appearances in circuit court, more than one pretrial on the child abuse charges. But she also has the welfare fraud case that she offered a plea under oath. And I went through the plea colloquy with her and found her plea to be freely, voluntarily, knowingly made. That was October 29th. She offered a plea of no contest. That offer and her acceptance included a Cobb's evaluation. So she was able to understand that she was getting an understanding from the court what the court would be intending to sentence in terms of the welfare fraud case. That was as recently as October. She was able to make that informed decision. She's also appeared at numerous occasions in the family law matter. She has remained compliant while she's been under pretrial supervision after her release. She has enjoyed the benefit of, which she has an absolute right to, but she has enjoyed the benefit of a motion to quash, Court of Appeals involvement, bond motions, more than one bond motion. She has an absolute right to all those things, but that's her participating in her defense, participating in her case, and assisting in her defense. The problem I have is the timing of this. We are 3 business days, we're 5 days from trial, a trial that everybody assured this court we were ready to go on. The jurors have been summoned. We've blocked the time. I've got minor children who are named as witnesses on the, I don't know if they're going to be called or not, but there's minor children who are named on the witness list. I share Ms. Ferency's concern that this is a delay. So I'm going to respectfully, with that record made, I'm going to respectfully pass this matter for a moment, let you talk to her. And when you come back in, I will ask for a more specific basis for a competency referral if the intention is to seek one at this late date.
But, and I think some of that involves privilege, Your Honor, and I'm concerned about that too, but I'll talk to her outside.
I will allow you to speak with her. So she understands the court's concerned. Why now?
She's not, I'm the one that's bringing it up.
Thank you, because
You know what I'm saying?
I was just standing here like, what are we talking
I'm
about?
going
Because
to
it's not a
recast the
meeting.
matter, let you speak to your attorney, and then I'll hear you.
Right.
But there's got to be more than, I as an officer of the court now think this is.
So this is odd. Let me just let the judge finish up.
Well,
All of those court appearances and involvement. So I'll briefly.
Okay, so it kind of just cuts off because basically they go to a break and the news channel did not come back. So it's quite possible if they revealed something that I guess they feel like was privileged information, maybe not privileged, but private medical, they may have asked the camera crews to not film during that moment. I'm not really sure, but her lawyer came back and said that there's some sort of competency. Kelly's sitting there like, what are you talking about? Kelly doesn't seem to know what her lawyer is referencing to and why her lawyer seems to want to delay court at this moment. But I guess we're going to find out. What I looked up yesterday, and it's looking like court is going to be, I think, May 17th. I could have the date wrong, but I think it's May 17th. So like another 2-month delay. I don't know if Miss Kirangongo, who is her lawyer, the blonde lady, is looking for a deal. I don't know, but I mean, they're pissing off the judge, which is not good, right? The prosecutor, it does not look happy either. It's just giving, if this is how you're going about it, I don't know if this is the best way. And then Kelly seems to be like, sis, what are you doing? What are you talking about? I didn't know anything about this. Like, it's just giving like your client doesn't seem to know what you're doing either. like you pulled like a dummy move or something. You pulled some sort of move that your client wasn't familiar with what you were going to do when you did it. So anyway, I don't know. This is our update on Kelli Marie Bryant. Tell me what you think. I do think Kelli is going to jail. Kelli definitely pled guilty for the welfare fraud. Oakland County is not happy with her, what she did. Nobody is here for frauding the government of their money and the very precious funds that are set aside for those who are in need of food, and frauding the system when your benefits are being assigned to you for children on top of that, and you've been abusing the children. No one's going to have any mercy for her, because what were you doing with the you know what I mean? All we can probably is safe to assume is that you were using the food stamps for yourself, for some sort of gain for yourself, whether you were, whatever. But the kids were not eating and they were left unattended. And that is not the agreement that you opt in for when you are getting those type of benefits and funds. Um, Also, she's risking a lot of time that she might have to do for this child abuse. So I'm not really sure what Miss Kieran Gongo has up her sleeve, but we're going to find out sooner than later. So eventually, the judge is going to put her foot down, and they're going to get this next evaluation done and see what happens. And I guess they're going to try to do something. But Kelli was definitely giving that she really had no idea what was going on. It was giving, we didn't talk about this, or you didn't let me in on this play that you were getting ready to run. It just didn't seem like Kelli knew what was going on. And then unfortunately, the news cameras were not able to capture the full scope of everything for us to get the final words, as far as what was, what was the final conversation between all parties. But we do know it has been rescheduled. So that's all. I'll keep you up to date. I'll let you know as soon as anything pops off. I'll see you guys a little bit later. Make sure, if you're new here, to subscribe to this channel. Make sure that your notifications are set so that when I go live, post any videos, updates, posts, all of the things, you can be notified. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.